Welcome back to the Science and Tech Podcast. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Mary. And oh boy, do we have something juicy for you today. Like seriously, this one's got a little bit of scandal, a whole lot of tech, and just enough, Google, you sly dog, to make it extra fun.
You can say that again. We're diving deep, well, as deep as we can given the circumstances, into the leaked Pixel 10 Pro XL. Yeah, you heard that right. The leaks are out, and it's looking like Google isn't just playing around anymore.
No, they are not. This isn't just like a minor spec bump, you know? It's Google's truly audacious challenge to the reigning champs, Apple and Samsung. They're basically saying, move over, folks, there's a new AI king in town. And they're saying it loudly just weeks before iPhone 17 and Samsung's S25 marketing cycle wraps up. It's almost like aggressive.
It is. And it's pretty exciting to see. So buckle up, because we're about to dissect this beast.
Right? Like, you usually expect little whispers, but these leaks are practically shouting. And what they're shouting, honestly, is that this Pixel 10 Pro XL, it's not just a minor upgrade. It's Google's super bold move to, grab the crown as the AI phone king.
Yeah, they're not holding back, are they? It's like they're saying, we have been quietly building our AI muscles, and now we're flexing. And the timing, Mary, is just perfect. Or, well, perfectly aggressive, depending on how you look at it.
Totally. Weeks before Apple drops the iPhone 17 and Samsung's barely done with their S25 cycle. It's almost like a direct challenge, you know? Like, hey, we're coming for your territory and we're bringing a whole lot of AI with us.
Exactly. It really positions Google less as the underdog in the hardware game and more as a serious contender, especially when it comes to integrating AI right into the core of the device. It's a very different strategy than just bigger camera, faster chip. They're playing a whole different game.
Yeah, and it's less about the raw horsepower race, which is what Apple and Samsung often focus on, and more about how smart the phone can be for you. It's quite exciting, actually.
And speaking of that whole different game, let's talk about the hardware for a sec. Because even there, they've got some interesting choices. I mean, the leaks are showing a familiar visor, but Mary, those bezels.
Oh, the bezels. They're like poof, much slimmer, which, is always a win in my book. And that display, a flatter 6.8-inch LTPO OLED with an industry-first 144 Hz peak for games. I mean, my eyes are ready for that buttery smooth scrolling. It's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, 144 Hz for gaming, sign me up. That's pretty wild. And they're sticking with the polished aluminum rails, Gorilla Victus 3 glass. So it sounds pretty sturdy, like it's not going to just fall apart if you sneeze on it too hard.
Right? It's not a glass sandwich that's going to shatter if you look at it funny. And the IP68 rating is still there, which is always nice for clumsy people like me. But Elizabeth, the battery, oh my goodness, the battery.
The battery, yes, it's a behemoth, isn't it? At 5,200 milliamp hours, that's like the biggest Pixel cell ever. And, Android police, they're citing internal test documents for this. So it's not just like a rumor from the internet ether.
It's almost comically large, which I'm here for. But here's the kicker, right? Google's still refusing to join the 60-plus watt charging club. They're only edging up to 39-watt wired and 23-watt wireless. It's a bit slow in a world where some phones charge in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? You get this massive battery, but then they're like, we're going for longevity, folks, not a quick pit stop. It's like Google saying, we believe in a slow and steady charge wins the race, which is certainly a philosophy, maybe for the battery's health, maybe for, not exploding your phone.
True. I mean, you've got to consider the trade-offs, right? Do you want to charge really fast and potentially degrade your battery quicker? Or do you want a phone that lasts for years and years? So I guess it makes sense, but it is a noticeable contrast to what some of their competitors are doing.
Okay, so we've talked about the outside, the bezels, the battery, but what's under the hood? Because this is where Google, I think, is really, really trying to flex. We're talking about the new Tensor G5 chip, Mary.
Oh, the G5. And finally, it's moving from Samsung's 4 nanometer to TSMC's 3 nanometer. This is the big deal, right? It's like they're finally getting serious about their silicon.
Yeah, it's like Google finally got a proper chef for their silicon kitchen instead of just microwaving it, you know? TSMC is the gold standard. So under the hood, we're talking about 2 Cortex X5 performance cores, 4 Cortex A720 efficiency cores, Emiratis G925 GPU. It's a beast.
It really is. But here's the kicker, right? They've got a TPU that's triple the size of the G4s. Triple. And a dedicated Gemini SPU that stores, get this, 4 billion parameters on device. That's insane.
4 billion parameters on device. That's just wild. It means a lot of that AI magic is happening right there on your phone, not necessarily sending all your data up to the cloud, which, for privacy folks is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, definitely a win for privacy. And even though the Geekbench leaks, they're hitting 2,000 in single core and 6,900 multi-core, which is still below Apple's A19. Google's just hold my beer, we're doing AI, because that Tensor NPU jumps to 60 tops for AI. That's their whole play, isn't it? It's not about raw processing power, it's about the AI.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, who cares if our single core score isn't the absolute highest? We're going to make your phone smarter. It's not just a chip, it's an AI brain, It's kind of Google's way of saying, we might not win the horsepower race on paper, but we'll win the intelligence race in your pocket.
Right? It's about how much smart stuff it can do, how quickly, and, without a data connection sometimes, which we'll talk about later, but that's a huge, huge differentiator for them. It's really Google trying to redefine what a powerful phone actually means.
Okay, so we've talked about the brain, we've talked about the brawn, but what about the eyes, Mary? I'm talking cameras, because Google's always done some magic with their cameras, even with technically older sensors.
Oh, the cameras. This is where it gets really interesting, because it's not about the megapixel wars anymore, is it? Google's kind of nah, we're good with 50 megapixels, thanks.
Yeah, they're sticking with that 50 megapixel GN2 main sensor, but they're upgrading the optics to f1.6 plus sensor shift OIS. So, they're still getting better, but it's not just about a bigger number. And the ultra-wide, get this, it climbs to 50 megapixels too.
Which is great for macro, right? For those super close-up shots. But the telephoto, this is where it gets wild. It shifts from 5x 48 megapixels to 5x 64 megapixels with an improved folded lens. Okay, a jump in megapixels there, but they're still not just chasing the numbers for the sake of it. It's what they do with it.
Exactly, because they've got this new night sight feature. It's called Photon Plus Fill, and it uses generative in-painting. So it's it reduces green without over-smoothing. No more watercolor paintings when you're trying to take a picture in a dark restaurant.
Oh, thank goodness, because some of those night shots, they look like a blurry dreamscape sometimes. And then there's Zoom Enhance Pro for 2025. This is the one that really got me.
Yeah, Zoom Enhance Pro. So you snap first and then it upscales later with Gemini 3. Hallucinating detail. Sounds kind of scary, but also amazing.
Right? It's like Photoshop's generative fill, but local on your phone. It's not sending it up to the cloud. So it's literally making up details to make your zoom look better. It's what if that brick had a slightly different texture? Boom. There you go.
Yeah, it's what if that person in the background actually had 2 eyes instead of 1 blob? But apparently early samples are showing 10x crops that are rivaling Samsung's 10x optical clarity, which is, that's their whole thing, right?
It is their whole thing. So Google's basically saying, you don't need a massive optical zoom lens sticking out the back of your phone because our AI can just invent better pixels. It's a magic trick almost.
Yeah, it's like we'll just make it up for you, but in a really convincing way. It's less about capturing what's perfectly there and more about creating a visually appealing interpretation of it, which is, it's a very Google approach to photography, isn't it?
It really is. It's like, why have hardware when you can just AI it, right? It's kind of their philosophy writ large across the whole phone, but especially with the cameras.
Exactly. It's like, why have hardware when you can just AI it, right? It's kind of their philosophy writ large across the whole phone, but especially with the cameras, which I guess brings us to the actual AI powerhouse, because we've been talking about Gemini 3 a lot. This is Google's like trump card, right?
Oh, it absolutely is. This is the big one. And it starts with Pixel 10. Gemini it replaces Assistant entirely. Like, gone. Bye-bye Assistant. Hello, Gemini.
Wow. So no more Hey Google, it's Hey Gemini, or is it just all baked in now?
Well, it's all baked in, but the cool thing is the Gemini Live overlay. You know how with Circle to search, it's like you circle something and it goes to the cloud? This is different. You can circle any on-screen object and ask, what is this? Or summarize this PDF. But here's the kicker. It runs offline.
Wait. Offline? So my data isn't being beamed up to some Google server somewhere? Like this is all happening on the device?
Yes, it's all on the device. Thanks to that Tensor G5 NPU, you're getting responses in under 350 milliseconds. And it's a 25 gigabyte model footprint. So it's chunky, but it's there. No internet needed for a lot of this stuff.
Oh, that is a game changer for privacy, isn't it? Like for people who are always worried about, what's going up to the cloud, that's huge.
It is huge, and it leads to some pretty neat tricks too, like Live Translate. Now it handles colloquial phrases and even nested slang, so you don't need a data connection to translate like street talk,
That's actually legitimately useful because sometimes those literal translations are they're not it.
No, not at all. And then there's AI screenshots, which, it'll auto-label things like receipt or QR code and give you quick share suggestions. It's like it knows what you're trying to do with that screenshot before you even do it.
That's kind of creepy, but also really, really convenient. So you take a picture of a receipt and it's like, hey, maybe you want to file this for your taxes.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's Gemini shapes. You can just draw figures on screen for note-taking or whiteboard collaboration. So it's not just text, it's also visual interaction with the AI.
Oh, so if I'm on a video call and someone's drawing something out, I can just snap a screenshot and then draw my own annotations on top of it?
Yep. And it's all handled by Gemini. And the security pitch, which you alluded to earlier, all this data stays inside the Titan M3 enclave unless you explicitly share it. So you really do have that on-device privacy guarantee. It's not going anywhere unless you want it to.
That's pretty impressive. They're really pushing this local AI first thing, aren't they? It's not just a catchphrase. It's core to the experience.
It really is. It's their answer to, do we need the cloud for everything? And they're saying no, not for this stuff.
Wow. So it's not going anywhere unless you want it to, and it's all about keeping that data with you. That's pretty compelling. So when it comes to actually connecting to the world, what are we looking at there? Because I heard some whispers about satellite texting. Is that true?
Oh, Mary, it is true. Pixel 10 Pro XL adds Wi-Fi 7, tri-band with multi-link, Bluetooth 6E, UWB2 for all your spatial Find My and Pixel Tag XR beacons. But yeah, the big one, Google beats Apple to full Iridium-based two-way satellite texting, baked right into Android 15's pop-up UI.
No way. So if I'm, I don't know, lost in the wilderness, I can still text my mom? That's huge.
Yeah, pretty much. Though I wouldn't recommend getting lost in the wilderness just to test it out. It's honey, I'm okay, just stuck on a mountain sending this via satellite.
Right? Don't worry, the AI on my phone is keeping me company. That's wild. And then what about the USB-C? Because, these things matter.
Oh, absolutely. The USB-C port upgrades to USB 4 Gen 2, which is 40 gigabits per second, plus DisplayPort. So, fast, versatile. No S Pen rival yet, which for some people that's a deal breaker. But the Pixel Watch 4 launches alongside it with like a new advanced sleep apnea sensor and deeper Gemini integration.
Oh, so it's all like talking to each other. It's not just like a phone in a vacuum. It's a whole Google ecosystem play.
Exactly. You can even like double tap the crown on the watch to inject a spoken command directly into your phone's overlay. So it's super integrated. And, we have to talk about battery life because that's always a big one for Pixel, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with all this AI processing, I'm just picturing my battery draining in like 2 hours.
Well, good news. Leaked internal tests show 23 hours of 1080p YouTube playback. That's a 12% bump over the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and it's neck and neck with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, so competitive.
Wow, that's actually really good. I feel like Pixel batteries always get, a bit of flack, so that's a nice improvement.
Definitely. And standby drain drops too, thanks to Android 15's new adaptive deep doves. So if your phone's just chilling face down, it suspends background AI inference. It's smart.
Okay, so it's not just like going wild when you're not looking. That's good. Now, we've talked about all these amazing features. What about the damage to the wallet?
Ah, yes, the inevitable part. So EU regulatory filings, they're tipping a base of 1,149 euros, which is about $1,099 US for the 12 256 GB model. And it tops out at 1,399 euros for 16 gig 1 terabyte, which actually undercuts iPhone 17 Pro.
Oh, that's interesting. So they're coming in under Apple, but I bet they're still over Samsung, aren't they?
Yeah, it overshoots Samsung's standard S25, which is $999, but Google's likely going to bundle Pixel Buds Pro 2 or a Pixel Tag 4-pack for launch day. So there's that.
Oh, the classic bundle, to make you feel like you're getting a deal. I get it. Okay, so it's a bit pricey, but it's a flagship. What about like any fun little extras that Google just throws in there that aren't like core AI or camera?
Oh, they always have those. So tap to capture, for example, you just double tap the back of the phone to quick snap a photo, and it uses the gyro to auto level the horizon. So no more crooked pictures, Elizabeth.
Oh, that's for me. I need that. My pictures are always like a little bit tilted.
Mine too. And then there's Gemini Recall. You can search old chats or docs by describing the gist. So you could say, show me the spreadsheet with the purple header about Q2 budgets. And it just finds it.
Oh, I like that. No more scrolling through like endless messages. That's amazing.
And AI Wallpaper 2.0. It's a 3-prompt generator. So you give it a style, a subject, and a twist, and it generates wallpaper, all local again.
So I can make like a funky, purple, sparkly cat wallpaper?
Yes, you absolutely could. And it's all happening right there on your device. And then finally, the Pixel Stand 3. It acts as a Matter smart home hub with a Thread border router. Plus, it's got that 23-watt charging.
So it's not just a charger. It's like the brain of your smart home. That's pretty neat. So a lot of little touches, not just, the big, splashy AI stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mary, after all this talk, it feels like the Pixel 10 Pro XL is really Google's big gamble, isn't it? It's all about local AI, trumping megapixels, and like the wattage wars. It's a bold move. It might not totally eclipse Apple's CPU prowess or Samsung's optical zoom, but man, that Gemini first experience, the bigger battery life, the satellite texting before iPhone 17 even ships, it's compelling.
So if you're like deep in Google services already and you really value offline privacy and you want that cutting edge AI without the cloud lag, this Pixel 10 Pro XL seems like the most cohesive Pixel we've seen, right?
Yeah, totally. Power-hungry pros who are like addicted to raw performance or that super fast 65-watt charging, well, they'll still lean Samsung. And filmmakers, well, they'll stick with Apple's Pro test for now. But for everyone else, August 20th, that could be the day the Pixel truly steps into its own AI spotlight.
Yeah, no longer just the iPhone of Android, as they say. It's its own thing. So that brings us to the end of another episode of Science and Tech Podcast.
And what an episode it was, full of leaked goodness. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
We'll catch you next time. Bye.